Rise and Shine Rwanda. It's Friday, the 19th of February.
Welcome to Rise and Shine Rwanda's weekly review show where we take you back through the best of the week here on Rise and Shine Rwanda. It's just past 7 o'clock in the morning and my name is Ivan Magwene.
And I'm Yvette Shibusho. Over the next hour, we'll be bringing you a review of the week's top stories, analysis, debate, and insights into the stories making headlines here in Rwanda and around the world. The Rise and Shine crew have been throughout the week diligently gathering everything you need to know about what's going on here and around the world.
Well, it's been a busy week for us here at the Rise and Shine headquarters. Of course, one of the most interesting stories that I put it on was on Valentine's Day. It was a sign, of course, as we knew, love was in the air. And here is what I brought you as I visited out a certain concert organized by Claude Kabenjera at the Mill Colin. Welcome back to Rise and Shine Story of the Day with me, Ivan Magwene. Now, Valentine's Day is one of those special holidays that is enjoyed by almost everyone in the world. After all, what's known to like about a day when loved ones get to shower each other with cards, flowers, chocolates, and the list goes on? Well, the feeling was alive in Kigali as love was in the air this weekend. What Hotel de Mill Colin to witness Soir des Amoureux? Let's take a look. All right, now, of course, I wanted to have this chat with everyone around the table because, you know, I wanted to have different views on how the weekend was. Of course, for me, I witnessed that actually Valentine's Day started exactly from Friday. So the whole weekend was about Valentine. Saturday was even hotter. Sunday was crazier. So I just want to know, how was your Valentine's Day, Yvette Shibusho?
Well, from Friday I was working, Saturday working, Sunday working. So it was just work. But because the work has to do with what I love to do, I was also celebrating Valentine's.
Valentine's,
you
when you love with work.
The love within within my career, I guess.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Sherry, what was all about Valentine's anyways?
Even me, it was all about work actually, but let's just say I don't know if I practically got involved in the whole Valentine's thing, but I was a very good witness. So I just watched over as everyone was, you know, getting into the mood. But it was a really nice weekend.
So I guess now what the joke has been going on for you, it was Happy Independence Day or something, Happy Labour's Day?
Halloween. It was Halloween.
For Moses, I want to know, of course, a lot was going on, but I want to know, how was the test for Valentine?
It was amazing, taking out the family and enjoy the family day, because that is a special day for the family. Because on top of everything, on top of what we do, it was a working weekend, of course, but again, I happened to have extra hours for the family, and it was amazing because going out with the family and enjoy the moment. It's a day that comes once in a year. It doesn't mean that people don't love each other, but that is a special moment to take a special attention, to understand more each other. And I mean, it's amazing. It was amazing for me. I can't really believe how good that day was.
All right, now, of course, let me ask this because it's very important. Something that amazed me actually is that actually now I've seen Valentine's Day in Rwanda has become one of the biggest day on the calendar, especially the fact that I was moving around trying to see different places and how they've organized. You saw different stands around town where they're selling flowers. I mean, people were dressed.
I have a funny joke.
And there were funny
joke.
And the funny jokes, you know.
And there were also promotions in restaurants. And
Exactly.
Yes, everywhere.
Hello
So
Food,
while I
think.
was in town, I was actually, well, work, as always. I heard someone, you know, there were people selling different shirts, and then I heard someone say, na mupira wa semva na ntofita I was like, what? People are actually looking for outfits for this day. So yes, it is actually.
It's a big deal.
Yeah,
Big
it's
deal.
growing.
It's
The holiday is growing on us.
Absolutely.
here in
And we
Rwanda.
had very many events. I mean, at least there was no excuse for any lady, I mean, for any man or lady, let's say, you know.
Yeah, because
to
it
say-
works. It
It's
works
both ways.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
yes, you're very
And
right.
yes,
relationship is not for one person, it's for two. So
Yeah,
I
it's got to be a
think-
50-50 deal, you know,
Yeah.
these days. it's
60-40.
even crazy.
I'm kidding.
60-40. Let's say 60-40. But anyways, the whole idea is that I think Kigali is now up to with Valentine's Day, and I think it was a colorful day for me because leave alone even the events, even the way people were dressed. I mean,
Yes.
I'm not going to lie, you, when I was moving around town, I saw love on the streets.
Yes.
It
People
was
were
red.
holding
Big
it,
hands,
and
they
people
were
holding
wearing
each
red,
other's
people were
hands.
selling flowers and little roses.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I
Oh,
wish every day was like this, you know?
Right?
And this rose the question for me, why is it that, you know, especially maybe in African cultures, PBA, which is the public display of affection, is still very low.
PDA. Yes,
Yeah, so PDA is still very low. It's only on Valentine's Day that you see people actually holding hands. Normally, if you go out, for example, to shop, for example, you're in a supermarket, you will see that the man is the other side and the woman is the other side. But
You
on
wouldn't even know that they've come into that place together.
Exactly. But on
Like
Valentine's Day, the things had changed. It was a close to buy deal. You buy, baby, we're together on this one. So,
That was
of
nice.
course, I mean, even with our fans out there, the fans of the show, we love to, you know, extend our love and you know, bring it in all.
We
And
embrace you all.
okay.
And very much appreciate you.
Of course, and we thank you for the love that you've been showing us ever since, of course, season 2 started, and
Yes.
you just keep on, you know, pouring in the love. Let the love keep on growing.
Happy Valentine's.
Happy
Valentine's
Valentine's
Day.
Day, of
Yeah.
course.
So tell us a little bit about what took place.
Well, as you already said, it was Valentine's, as I already said, and it was called Soirée des Amours. Well, my French is not that good, but I know it was about love and bringing out the couples and bringing out the music and, you know, sharing and, you know, having, there were different takeaways and people were given different gifts as couples.
Oh, really?
You know, what was more interesting about this was people were asked questions so that they could win as many gifts as possible. For instance, some of the questions ranged, when did you propose, the date, the time, if you remember.
Oh, wow.
They would ask the wives, what shirt, you know, what color of the shirt was your husband wearing? You know, it was a very memorable night, and for most people out there, they were having fun. Love was in air, I'm
Yeah,
telling
it was
you.
really in the air.
And
Did you
it's-
get any gifts?
Well, I didn't
meet
get
anyone?
No, I was as most people were making the brag around. It was Happy Independence Day for most people.
Oh.
But I was working anyways. It wasn't just because I was there for the love, but I was working. But anyways, the love was so much there, and I felt like, you know, the presence was already there. So that was the story out there.
All right, thank you.
Now, another story that really caught our attention this week was the University of Global Healthcare, a university that is working hard to transform healthcare in Rwanda. Let's take a look back. Welcome back to Rise and Shine Story of the Day with me, Ivan Magwene. Now, today's story of the day, we're looking at the University of Global Health Equity. Now, the University of Global Health Equity is a groundbreaking health sciences university in Rwanda that is training global leaders to deliver high-quality healthcare. And before we get into the discussion, here's a report we compiled for you about this outstanding institution.
The success of Rwanda in providing healthcare to the unprivileged has drawn the attention of different institutions. One of the newest is the University of Global Health Equity. The university is rooted in the principles of health equity and incorporating the latest advances in education technology. The university also intends to promote leadership, management, and financial skills among students. Speaking to Rise and Shine Rwanda, Dr. Eugene Tuishim, a training doctor from University of Global Health at King Faisal Hospital, says that students at the institution are getting lessons from people with experience, which enables them to learn and apply it in their regular work efficiently.
My name is Eugene Tuishim. I'm a resident in anesthesia program. For now, what I do, I take care of patients undergoing surgery, but I do that in training because I'm pursuing a degree of Master's in Medicine in Anesthesiology. So it means I'm a doctor and I'm running to become a specialist in anesthesia. The MGHD program, when I first heard about it, they had a very good equity agenda, and they needed to teach people how to develop the skills needed to help patients, to help the poor, and also to improve the quality of care, and also to develop the health system. And I was thinking that when I do that master's, it would help me to be like a good manager, or to be able to improve the quality of care in Rwanda and in Africa and in other low-income countries. Yeah, in that program, how we are being taught, we have people who have experience, and we learn from their experience. We don't just go and read that course. There are people who come and share with us their experience, and then we can learn from their previous experiences. How can we improve that and do better? And also the agenda is the equity and the service delivery to the vulnerable and the poor, and also to those countries which are very poor.
The university also hopes to create a global forum for delivery-focused teaching, research, clinical care, and implementation. Magwene Ivan, Rise and Shine Rwanda.
And joining me in studio is Sarah Trent, Academic Director at the University of Global Health Equity. Welcome to the studio, Sarah.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, I understand this is your second time on the show.
Yes.
Okay. Normally when people make it out for the second time, we normally have something for them. So we're going to have something for you maybe after the show.
Ooh.
But briefly, I'm so excited about this, especially when I was doing this same report, because on a personal basis, I would say healthcare is something that is growing in Rwanda and it faces quite big challenges. And seeing an institution like this that is trying to first-hand class with its students practically on the ground, try and improve the qualities and skills that the students are getting. But for people out there to understand a better picture of what the University of Global Health Equity is, what is the University of Global Health? Give us the history. Why was it initiated? What is it doing in Rwanda so far?
The University of Global Health Equity opened in Rwanda in September of 2015. But this had been a project that had been in the works for many, many years through all of the efforts of Partners in Health in Rwanda. So Dr. Paul Farmer, who started Partners in Health, has been working in Rwanda for about 10 years, very, very closely with the Ministry of Health, Education, and other partners in order to build capacity in the health system. So the University of Global Health Equity was a natural next step for such motivation around improving healthcare delivery. And we chose Rwanda because of these deep partnerships and also because of how well Rwanda has done in healthcare. So we knew that it was an exemplary place to start a university, and we have been so proud of how closely we've been able to work with partners, with students to get the university started in relatively such a short time.
All right, quite a short time, but of course, quite a short time, but you've done a lot, I'm pretty sure. Now, of course, I want to know for 1 year, the experience that you've had already, what is, in your own opinion, what have you seen as a transformation within the healthcare system, especially for your students in this part? How have you seen your students being transformative in terms of the way they deliver their skills on the ground?
The students are all working professionals, so everyone comes to school for evenings and weekends, but then during the day and the majority of their time they spend at the workplace. So I've heard from students that they're using really practical skills that they learned in the program immediately in their job. So whether that's to help with their management of people, to help with managing and improving processes, to strategically help solving problems. There's also a big emphasis in the first semester on Principles of Global Health, which is a foundational course. It's very theoretical. So students who have been implementers and doing the job without maybe as deep of an understanding of how these problems got to become what they are, and also how to solve them with a real mind for and passion for equity. And so I see students every day, they tell me stories, I go and visit them at work, and you can see how much they've improved as a professional and as someone contributing to the Rwandan healthcare success through the training that they're getting in the Master of Science in Global Health Delivery.
Of course, something that I wanted to share with you, especially while I was reading a lot about the university, is the fact that one of your big basics for the principles of the university is that you're training global leaders. So what you're trying to give also the students include financial skills and all these skills that people need to have. And quite frankly, it's something that is not so common around, especially if you look at our, for example, healthcare education. So how is it important for people in the healthcare system to have all these skills? Because it's not quite a usual norm that people get to learn all those skills. Leadership, financial skills, how does this connect?
Sure. You're right. The curriculum is quite comprehensive. So we start with this, as I mentioned, theoretical Principles of Global Health course, which certainly talks about health in Rwanda, but it takes students far beyond Rwanda to learn about health in urban and rural, in low-income and high-income settings across the globe. So that's semester 1. They build on that during semester 2 with a data-driven course that focuses on research. And so they're in that course right now. And they're learning how to use tools when looking at data and asking for data and deciding, what is useful, what needs to be changed, what information do I need to make a decision. And then they continue to learn leadership and management because we know that they're going to be in front of organizations and leaders in the health space. And in order to do that, you need some training on management and leadership. So you need to be able to give a compelling argument in writing. You need to be able to lead people with sort of verbal presentations. You need to be able to make decisions very quickly and logically, but also keeping in mind how it fits into the bigger management picture that you're working on. So I think that everyone's looking forward to that course. It starts in March. And I know that the students will really excel as they get that training in the health setting. So it can be more broadly applied, and not all the students have traditional clinical backgrounds, but I think that the good part about the class is that it does take those situations in the healthcare space that we know that they're facing every day in their jobs in Rwanda.
Yes. Now, one of the programs that really caught my attention, of course, as we visited Dr. Eugene at King Faisal Hospital to talk about the University of Global Health Equity launch. It's the inaugural program in Master Science. And so I wanted a little bit to ask you this question, especially for most people that are out there at home, maybe trying to say, I want to join this university. You have this program that delivers, I think, skills from all spheres, and especially even now, doctors have to go on the ground and train every day. So I want to know specifically, what do you think is so special about this program that after a student goes through this program, there is something especially within the quality that has changed? What do you think is really special about this program from any other program?
I think there are a lot of things that make it special. I'll start with sort of two things. Number one is students spend most of their second year doing a practicum project. So that's a project that they select and they implement at their place of work with lots of mentorship from the program, so faculty here in Rwanda and also faculty abroad. And the program is a chance for them to leave the master's with not just a degree and not just all of these courses they've taken, projects they've done, but a really large scale implementation project that they can be proud of and that will be working to improve their organization and also is very much in line with their areas of expertise and interests. So I think that, you know, there are a lot of really strong programs of this nature around, but I think that one of the main things that sets us apart is this practicum experience. The second thing I'll say is this focus on global and equity. So we're doing a lot in Rwanda, and Rwanda is certainly critical to this program, but we want people to think beyond that when they're a student, but also when they're a graduate. So that's why we have faculty from Rwanda, and we have faculty coming in from all over the place. So Harvard University, Yale University, Tufts University. It's really a program that puts students around people who've been working in the healthcare delivery space for a long time in very different contexts. And second of all, equity. So someone can deliver really strong global health care and not really worry about equity. Equity isn't necessarily essential for someone making a decision sort of universally, but the university prioritizes that. So Partners in Health's ethos, which we very much have embraced, is this preferential treatment for the poor. So we need to design health systems that support people at all levels, not just people who can pay, not just people with connections and resources. So I think our graduates get a really strong dose of that, and you can hear it in the way that they talk about the program, that that's critical to them and critical to the leaders that they want to be.
All right, now of course this is, I'm pretty sure, a question that most students, maybe people who aspire to join the campus, by the time we finish this talk, want to ask you. I understand right now you're enrolling new students at the university, but we want to know, how is the process done? How can somebody register? How are you able to bring in the students? What are the criteria? So briefly give us the whole insights into this process.
Sure. We're hoping to recruit another 26 students for our incoming cohort. The intake will start in September of 2016. So right now the application process is open. There are two things I'll mention. One is sort of what we're looking for in a student, and then I'll talk a little bit about the process. So the students must have work experience in the healthcare space, hopefully with an eye towards global questions. They need to have finished a bachelor's degree. Some students already have a master's degree and are getting a second. And we take students from all sectors. So we have clinicians, policymakers, folks that represent the One Health space, so veterinary scientists, administrators, educators, researchers, and it's really important for us to have a diverse class so that when we're doing projects, people bring those areas of specialization to the problem they're working to solve. In terms of logistics around the application, you go to our website, www.ughe.org, and from there you can find a link to our application. The application is open for about another 2 weeks, so I'm encouraging everyone to do this very soon. Now is the time. You fill out some demographic data. You answer some essay questions about your experience working in the global health delivery space. You submit your CV as well as your transcript. If all of those things are really strong, we'll invite you in March to come and sit for an entrance examination. The entrance exam covers audio-visual comprehension focused on global health, as well as sort of a quantitative test that students take. If you've done well on that test, you're invited back to sit for an interview. And the interview talks about very diverse things, how you deal with challenges, successful global healthcare delivery you've implemented, sort of trying to get a sense for how you'd be as a student, how you are as a person and a professional. If you do well on that, you will be selected for the program. And so students will find out in April what the admissions committee has decided, and then they'll have a few months to get together funding and scholarships in order to start in September.
All right, now I hope they just got what they really need right now. And of course, quite an interesting university to join. But of course, I always ask a question, and this is a question that I would like to pose to you, especially, it's a future question. and most students want to know. As a new institution, of course, you've been here for almost 1 year now, since 2015. Where do you see yourselves in the next few years? Where do you see your students after they graduate? Where do you expect them to be as somebody working with the organization?
Sure. Well, we've mainly been talking about the Master of Science in Global Health Delivery, but that's just one of many health science degrees the university will offer. So in the coming years, we will offer a medical degree, nursing, veterinary science, dentistry, PhD, and all of those other health science degrees will be a dual degree in tandem with the Master of Science in Global Health Delivery. So right now we're doing it exclusively, but soon we will build this degree into other health science programs. So from a university perspective, more degrees will open. We'll have a large, robust, state-of-the-art campus in Butaro, which we're currently starting to build now. So that's where we're going as a university. I think in terms of students, I hope to see my students excel in the fields that they're pursuing now. So I hope people advance into leadership positions. I hope people take on more complex health challenges. But I also hope some of the students will make some small shifts in their career. So they'll continue doing what they've been doing. Maybe they're clinician. So take Dr. Eugene, for example. We saw him during the show. I mean, he's a clinician, but I think he has a lot of potential to move beyond a clinical role and move into sort of a leadership and management and administrative role. And that's what I hope to see students do. They'll take their main skill set, they'll refine it through the program, through the practicum, with mentorship from their faculty, and then they'll decide, soon that they want to shift and take on more and use all of the skills that they're learning to be really effective in those new roles. And hopefully, through that process, I know it will happen, transform what's going on in Rwanda and beyond.
Indeed, transformation will be there. Thank you so much for joining us once again, and we hope to have you next time in the studio.
My
of
pleasure.
course. Thank you so much.
Of course.
You're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda. Stay with us. Business stories are coming up next with Yvette Shumbusho.
The things that make you look outside the window and sigh. The ones that make your dreamy eyes look up to the sky and smile. Forget the miles between and smile at the sky. Like it held something precious that belonged to you. Like this little secret that makes you hold everything you love. Let your passion guide you. You can be sure you will touch the sky.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda, the review. Now, there are some big stories that I reported on this week. One of them had to do with one of the agriculture sector players, Zamora Feeds. Take a look back. One of the objectives of the agriculture sector is to increase productivity among all the sector players. And I visited Zamora Feeds in Msanzi, who believes that they're doing just that. Take a look.
fairly new here in Rwanda, even the industry at large. So what position does Zamora play in this industry?
Thank you. Zamora Feeds is technically Rwanda's first commercial livestock feed processing plant. I stand corrected on this, but in October 2014, when Zamora Feeds started production, there was no record of any other animal feed processing plant supplying feed on the local market.
Yes.
Now that being said, it is clear that we are the pioneers in this market. Currently, our product can be accessed by customers in several districts all over the country, including Musanze, Burera, Gakenke, Rubavu, and of course the customers in and around the three districts in Kigali, that is Gasabo, Kicukiro, and Nyarugenge, are able to access our products in the Nyabugogo Central commercial area. It is also our goal to make our product easily available in 20 districts by the end of this year, by December of 2016.
You have a whole plan.
Yes,
and it's working out well, I guess.
And it's working out well. Since we're in 7 districts currently, 20 is our new goal.
So, like I said, when we put things in through there, after that point, the rest of it is controlled by control.
So what does it start?
So the process starts right here. These are the pouring stuff. It will be crushed and then ordered upwards until it's respected. These 6 beans are what you see. They're named up here. Once they have been loaded, we'll input a formula. The formula is by code, so people will, so if it's like 111, it's like 3, how it works with the code, and the code will be direct exactly what the actual.
Yvette! There you have it. I mean, now we know for sure that our animals all over this beautiful country of ours are being fed properly. And I'm hoping that this definitely has impact on our agriculture sector. Right. From me, Yvette Shibusho, Rise and Shine Rwanda. Joining me in studio is Matthew Karugarama, the CEO and founder of Zamora Feeds. Welcome on the show.
Thank you.
Is it your first time?
It is my first time on the show, and I'm a very big fan, so I'm happy to be here.
Oh, thank you very much. So we're going to go straight into it. First, tell us, or at least elaborate for us exactly what Zamora Feeds is about.
Zamora Feeds is Rwanda's first commercial feed processing plant, and our goal is to provide farmers with high quality yet affordable livestock feed in order to increase their meat, egg and dairy productivity.
Okay, great. And we've heard, and I'm quite curious about the 1 egg per child program. Maybe you can just shine some light on that.
Yes, the 1 egg per child program is one of the most exciting and fulfilling things that Zamora Feeds as a company gets to be a part of. We, through our poultry farm with 12,000 layers, it's also our demonstration farm. We are able, through this farm, to provide the 1 egg per child program with fresh, nutritious eggs every day, which they in turn deliver to kindergartens, mostly in the northern province. And of course, kindergartens are targeting children under the age of 4. We are very excited about this program because we know the long-term health benefits that these children will get to enjoy for the rest of their lives. In addition to an egg providing 12 grams of high-quality protein, the schools enrolled in the 1 egg program also enjoy better academic performance as well as good physical development of the children in these schools, not to mention that the attendance at these kindergartens is much higher.
Yes, exactly. Now we know that our economy depends heavily on the agriculture sector, and young entrepreneurs are usually fearful, or they really don't want to take that risk of investing in the agriculture sector. But we have people like you. So what advice would you give people who are interested in investing in agriculture sector, and even those who are a bit scared?
That's a good question, Yvette. The agriculture sector in Rwanda is a very promising sector in which to invest. And the message I would give to both foreign or domestic investors who are interested in this sector is a message that is similar to and consistent with what our great leader, His Excellency Paul Kagame, has always encouraged us. He has encouraged Africans in general, but Rwandans in particular, to approach trade and investment not as aid, but really as an opportunity to develop our countries. As such, investment should be approached as an opportunity to make the lives of Rwandans better. I think, Yvette, it's also worth mentioning that Rwanda remains the most competitive economy in East Africa in which to do business. This is according to a recent World Economic Forum report. And this competitiveness extends to all sectors of the economy, not just agriculture. And I'm talking about sectors like tourism and energy and manufacturing. I think it's also fair to say that investors in Rwanda can expect a stable return on investment. This is because our country is secure. Our country has one of the world's most effective and efficient governments, and also our country's economic growth is expected to remain well above 7% for the next few years. All these are strong reasons why Rwanda is a very worthwhile economy in which to invest.
As well as the agriculture sector?
Yes.
All right. So you've been in operation for at least a little over a year, and I know that you're operating within 7 districts at the moment. At least you're distributing to 7 districts. And I know the goal for you is 20.
Right.
Any other future plans for Zamora Feeds?
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Yvette. In addition to increasing our market presence from 7 districts to 20 by the end of 2016, Zamora Feeds is also mastering the science of delivering product to our clients in the most cost-effective way possible, while also ensuring the high quality of our products. One of the things we have put in place is a quality analysis laboratory that is going to make sure our quality remains on international standards. The second thing that Zamora is putting in place that is already being demonstrated is our product's net value, making that net value clear to customers who use our feed. That means for pig farmers, that could mean increasing
the weight?
Yeah, the live weight to 80 kilos in 6 months, while for broiler customers, that could mean having 2 kilograms of live weight in 6 to 8 weeks.
Oh wow, that is a lot.
Yeah,
very big pigs.
Yeah, they are, but on international standards, which is where we want the agriculture, especially the livestock sector, to be, those are very fair standards for Rwanda.
All right, thank you very much, and thank you for the great work that you're doing, and all the best with Zamora Feeds.
Thank you.
All right. So you've heard it right here. You get stable returns when you invest in agriculture. So for those who are uncertain or a bit scared to invest in the agriculture sector, now you know. You are up to date with today's business headlines. Sports news coming up in just a moment with Moses Bilikunzira.
You're watching Rise and Shine, Rwanda's weekly review show on to sports now. And of course, as most people are coming out of the Chan fever and of course the ambience out there, but still we had police going on to the next games in the CAF Confederation Cup. And it was police versing, of course, Atabala from South Sudan. And we had the team police beat Atabara 3-1. Let's take a look back at what Moses had for us.
Now, while most fans are still in hangover from Chan 2016 hosted here in Rwanda, for players it was business as usual. Police FC played their 2016 CAF Confederations Cup for the second time in a 3-1 win against Atlabala of South Sudan on Saturday at Stade de Kigali. Does Police stand any chance to progress in the next round? Well, first let's take a look at how the ambience was at Stade de Kigali Stadium on Saturday. FC hosted Atalabala FC in the first leg of preliminary qualifying round of 2016 CAF Confederations Cup on Saturday at Kigali Regional Stadium. Striker Usengimana Dani, fresh from taking part in just concluded African Nation Championship Chan Finals tournament with the Amavubi, netted the opening goal on 8th minute after a wonderful cross from skipper Inosa Habyarimana. Police players slept a bit, and that gave Atalabala room for equalizing on 38th minute through forward Kaminsk Leon Uso. Central back Twajizimana Fabrice, nicknamed Ndikukazi, gave something to smile for Andre Kasambungo's team when he netted his team's second goal on 58th minute with a bullet header off a well-taken corner kick by Habyarimana Inosa. While striker Isonga Izayi scored the third goal for Police in 74th minute after the good work of Usengimana Dani. Despite that convincing win from Andre Kasambungo's team, the coach was not impressed on how his players performed in the first half, and he challenged them to up their game in the second leg if they want to go through in the next round.
Ntago bishimishije na gatoya, shimishijwe no gutsinda match ariko comportement ya muri rusange w'abakinnyi ntago ari nziza, kube état d'esprit yabo yagombye guhinduka kugira ngo bamenye agaciro ka competition abantu barimo, kandi ibyo ntago biba muri polisi gusa, byagombye kuba ku bakinnyi b'Abanyarwanda bose bagomba kumenya kukina match nk'iyi kugezaho wakina mu matsinda birashaka ko uzamura urwego rwawe.
Both sides will meet in the second leg on 27th of February in South Sudan, and should Police eliminate Atalabala, they will face the winner between Ajax Cape Town of South Africa and GD Sagrada Esperança of Angola in the next phase. Moses Birikunzira, Rise and Shine Rwanda.
First of all, I would like to say congratulations to the police. They've actually made it. This was a very good game. I saw the game myself. Quite a good performance. 3-1 was a very good win at home.
Yes.
But leave alone that. Now I will jump on to the most competitive league in Europe right now.
The UEFA Champions League.
The UEFA Champions League. For most people, they would think of Heineken or something like that.
Yeah.
But let's bring it down to the analysis of the game. Quite a surprise that PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, finally made it. For most people, they gave also a chance to Chelsea to beat.
Including myself.
Yes, of course. Now, at this moment, do we think Chelsea has a chance to again beat Paris Saint-Germain back at home when they come at Stamford Bridge?
Well, the scoreline was not a bad result for Chelsea as far as we are concerned.
And quite a wonderful goal by Obi Mikel.
Yeah, Obi Mikel, actually, the last goal he scored it back in September 2014. So it was a good goal for him. But let's look at the game in details. Chelsea entered in this game with a hefty of injuries. You know, there was no John Terry, there was no Kurt Zuma, who is not going to play again until the end of this season. And there was no Nemanja Matic, one of their best midfielders, because he had a red card in the previous Champions League game. So those three actual starters were not in the game. Now, there was Oscar, who was not well in the form because he's just coming up out of injury. And there's no other strikers who can help Diego Costa. So there was a lot of problems in Chelsea squad. But they did what they had to do. Again, look at the PSG. PSG had all players available, from Zlatan Ibrahimovic to Lucas Moura, to Thiago Motta, to Verratti, to Matuidi, you know, to their captain Thiago Silva and David Luiz. You know, all the team was in between. Despite you know, the controversy between Serge Aurier, who is their right back, and you know, the coach and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. You know, there was some problem that had happened between the player and the team and the manager and Zlatan. But that aside, PSG was very strong enough to actually beat Chelsea. But, you know, looking on how the game developed, you know, the way Chelsea started the game, you know, PSG started attacking in the first 15 to 20 minutes. But again, Chelsea came back in the game and they started playing. You know, Diego Costa was a menace. You know, there was a big combination in between Eden Hazard, you know, and Fabregas. But Matuidi, Thiago Motta, and Thiago Silva and Verratti were really strong in their midfield. And of course,
we can't wait to see what maybe Chelsea does when the team comes on. But do you think maybe there could be chance for Chelsea to keep on to the games maybe after they come back from that loss in Paris?
Well, before to say who stand a chance to progress is, we saw a PSG with a lot of players coming from the bench and come and do a difference. That's what Edison Cavani did. You know, 55 million pounds. You know what to expect from him.
He proved his worth.
He proved it. But again, you know, scoring a goal away is also an advantage. Because Chelsea needs just one goal, or actually, if Chelsea wins 1-0, that means Chelsea will go through. You see, you know, it's not going to be easy. But again, hopefully that time Oscar will be on form, and you know, John Terry will be back. You know, Chelsea is having Manchester City coming up this Saturday in FA Cup. It's going to be a tough game again. But if they can manage the time they play PSG, probably Chelsea will be back on form as far as Gus Hiddink and his team is concerned.
Probably. Let's leave it at the probably.
Yeah.
Of course, you mentioned it in your own words. Let's hope Chelsea, of course, brings back the game back at home. And, of course, congratulations to the PSG fans as they did it once again.
The things that make you look outside the window and sigh. The ones that make your dreamy eyes look up to the sky and smile. Forget the miles between and smile at the sky. Like it held something precious that belonged to you. Like this little secret that makes you hold everything you love. Let your passion guide you. You can be sure you will touch the sky.
Always my favorite segment, but this week on Lifestyle, Sherry Uwase, our colleague, sat down with one of the authors, Rwandan authors, to talk about the Rwandan reading culture. Let's take a look back.
Today we're going to talk about reading. Now, reading is a good culture, and raising a reading generation is just about what we need, especially considering where the world is heading, of course. But how many of us know of any Rwandan authors, for instance? Think no more. Bamurangirwa Patricia is one of our very own Rwandan authors, and she has written a couple of books, including My Mother's Dreams, Patriotism, Rwanda Yesterday. And she joins me right now in studio to shed more light on these literature pieces. Thank you so much for making time to be with us today.
You're welcome, thank you.
So I just want you to tell us a bit about your writing. When did this start?
My writings, I can say that it had started a long time ago. Because thought Rwanda Yesterday, it was the book which I published the first, but I have tried to start to write My Mother's Dreams since 82.
Since 82?
Yes.
And wait, this is Rwanda Yesterday that we're talking about. And then you have tried to write My Mother's Dreams since 1982.
Yes.
And I understand it was published in 2014?
Yes.
So just tell us about the journey, how it took you all that time to put this book together.
Yeah. Okay, I think I was happy to put Rwanda Yesterday out first because it's concerning Rwanda history.
Okay.
Why? Because that Rwanda history was the reason why I was out of my country.
Yes.
When I was still young, the country I loved as my country. And the life I passed through, it was not that good one, which I always count to that history to be the reason. I think 60% of that reasons. So that's why I wanted to put
Rwanda
yesterday first.
Which is the one you published first in last year in 2015?
No, this was 2013.
2013, sorry, yes, 2013, yes.
And I had idea to write about it right after. But it's the history of my past and the past of
the country,
my country.
Yes.
But the read concerning about my writing, it was a long struggle, a long journey with a lot of struggle with this, my mother's dreams. My mother's dreams is a holding life of my history.
Okay. Your personal history.
Yes, and with some other things. Because I call myself to be international.
Yes.
So it has also politics and some other things, if you can read behind.
Yeah.
Now, concerning my writings,
let's just also talk about patriotism, which is also one of them.
Patriotism is the collection of my poems. Some part of patriotism is in 2 languages, Kinyarwanda and English. Because it has talk about Rwandans and Rwanda in general, some other messages. That's why I decided to put in 2 languages to those who might not manage to read English. But first question you asked me about my journey of writing, I think.
Yes.
This again is a long journey and a lot of struggle. My writings concerning me with my education of 5 primary schools, 5 years of primary, of 50s, in the 50s, in Rwanda. Because I didn't get a chance to get higher education, something which I wanted more than anything. So it was a struggle, but I always want to write. Didn't know how I will do that with that education. First, I had to educate myself in any way. By talking to people, I knew how to write and reading in Kinyarwanda. Then I come to know other language, Swahili. So I was reading each and everything which it come in front of me. How I educated myself through reading and talking with the people. When I get a chance to meet someone who get that chance of education.
Who is educated, yes.
So I was giving myself that education through people. With determination and have my full confidence. When I am talking to people, especially young generation, that is what I am always telling them, to see me as example, to have and hold their full confidence, no matter what.
Yes.
And don't let anyone discourage them for what they want, for their dreams. Because that is a problem we have. So that's how I come to manage it, to write my books, is because I refused to be discouraged.
That is very, very encouraging. That is a very encouraging message to know that even without having enough education, you can still use all the necessary materials around you. It could be people, it could be just reading, and wow, this is very encouraging for me, and even I think for our viewers. Yes, and because of time, we won't be able to maybe just exhaust everything. So maybe you can tell us where people can find your books and how they can purchase them.
Okay. All of my 3 books, you can find them through if you pass to Ichiri's bookshop.
Ichiri's bookshop.
And Caritas. And if you want just to read them, you can go to a library in Kachiru, National Library, just for reading anyway. But if you want to buy this copy and have them on your shelves, you can get them in that 2 places.
The 2.
And my books is not expensive as the books I saw here in Kigali. Because I want to be easy to people, can be able to buy them and read them. so that my message can pass through, because I believe that it have
There's
good
a lot
messages.
that people can learn from this.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And my books have been selected 3 times to be in the best books in the UK.
Oh, wow.
With some of the organizations.
Okay, wow, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We'll have to wrap it up right there. But as you have had, our viewers at home, it is very, very encouraging, like she has shared with us, you know, when you don't have enough, but you can actually use the materials around you, be it networking, be it getting all these books from different places. So she has 3 books, My Mother's Dreams, Patriotism, and Rwanda Yesterday. Now, you can purchase all these books at Ichirezi Bookshop, at Caritas, and even at the library. If you want to buy them, she say the prices are affordable. So please, let's encourage and let's raise a generation of reading. You have been watching Rise and Shine. Don't go away. We'll be right back after the break.
Don't forget, we love to hear your thoughts, comments, and feedback on what we're talking about here on Rise and Shine Rwanda. Tweet us at Rise and Shine RW. Like us on Facebook and send us your ideas for programs. Check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda YouTube page where you can catch all the shows and reports we do. Finally, find us on Instagram, Rise and Shine RW. We love to see your pictures. Or check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda website, www.riseendshinerwanda.com. Well, that is all the time we have for you today. We'd love to hear your feedback, so please keep sending them in. But for now, you've been watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Yvette Shimbusho.
And me, Ivan Magwene. We'll be at same time, same place on Monday. Do join us then. But for now, from the both of us and the rest of the Rise and Shine team, have a very good day and even a better weekend. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.